Sit here and yeah, I know I'm mid-match, but I stopped my recording for some reason. And I stopped my recording instead of unpausing it. But basically, what I'm talking about right now are my initial thoughts on Fortnite OG, and my initial thoughts when this mode launched were, oh my god, this mode is super sweaty. How did anyone put up with this back in 2017? But then I took a step back and was like, the sweatiness really isn't OG's fault. It's the fact that we, as the player base, have gotten better since Season OG launched. Or not Season OG, since Chapter 1 launched back in 2017. And I know this is a controversial take, but I don't actually mind that OG has skill-based matchmaking and bot lobbies. In my opinion, skill-based matchmaking at the very least is outright required to even make this game playable. Without it, you'd just be put in a lobby with a bunch of FNCS pros and for players who really just want to play the game, constantly getting pumped in the head by players who have been playing this game since it launched in 2017. For me at least, constantly just dying over and over and over just doesn't feel good at all. So skill-based matchmaking at the very least is a necessary evil. Now, bots? I don't really have an issue with bots existing in general. But, ever since Chapter 5, maybe it was even earlier than this, maybe the bots were always like this. Bots, more often than not, instead of fighting you, will just run away. And nowhere is that more apparent than this season. Yeah, this season. This unfortunately plagues OG too, since I'm assuming the bots in Battle Royale and the bots in OG share AI. I've had so many fights where I've had so many encounters with bots where instead of them actually fighting me, they'll just run away from me. And honestly, yeah, but if bots are going to be a thing in this game, if bots are going to be a thing in this game, then at least rework their AI. At least rework their AI. Because right now, bots are absolute cowards, and you say, oh, that adds to the challenge. No. It just makes... Or they'll do this. They'll build a wall in front of themselves, and then run away. In this case, the bot... No, the bot did run away.
Bruh.
Yeah, that was stupid. Okay. Alright. I actually pressed the correct button this time, so I'm still recording, but... Yeah, bots, if they're gonna be in this game, they need to be reworked. Either they should just go all in and, like, actually fight, or... This is gonna sound super contradictory to what I've been saying this whole time. Either code them to be competent, or remove them from the game. If you're gonna have bots in Fortnite, either code them to be competent, or they shouldn't be in the game. Like, I had a, I believe I was playing on my free-to-play account when this game occurred, but I had a game where Final Circle 1v1, and I spent most of that just chasing the bot. I did end up getting the victory royale in that game, however, but it was Final Circle 1v1. Yeah, Final Circle 1v1, the bot was just constantly running away from me despite having weapons in their inventory. Despite being able to fight me. And they just kept evading me, and in this example, they didn't build walls in front of me, but they were still just running away from me. Like, bro, you had a weapon. You could have fought. You could have pushed up on me. And fought, and probably won, too. Yeah, my skill level with this game, despite my account level being over, like, 1,000 or something. Yeah, my skill level isn't all that high. I mean, you saw my performance in the last game. But, like, yeah, if bots are gonna exist in Fortnite, they need to be reworked and recoded to actually be competent. I've had CPUs in Mario Kart. Yeah, I've been up against CPUs in Mario Kart with more competence than this. Now, what about OG itself? I know I've been talking a lot about bots, but what about the other aspects of OG? Like the map, the loot pool? Well, it is the Chapter 1 Season 1 map, so notable locations like Shifty Shafts and Tilted Towers are missing. I know there are more notable locations in Chapter 2, or not Chapter 2, Season 2. God. There are more notable locations in Season 2 than just those two. No Junk Junction is one. Was Lucky Landing Season 2 or Season 3? It might have been Season 3. Or maybe it was Season 4. I believe it was actually Season 4. But, so yeah, notable locations like here we are, at Loot Lake, and you'll notice, right, I believe it's right over there. Yep, Tilted is just not here. Loot Lake is, but Tilted is not, because it was introduced in Season 2. Will I cover Season 2 when it drops in February? Yeah, duh. But we do have to have some notable locations that weren't even in Fortnite Season OG from last year. Like, we have Moisty Mire, we have Anarchy Acres. Fatal Fields has been restored to its original form rather than Season OG, where it for some reason had a Chapter 4 barn in the place of the Fatal Fields farmhouse, and it's ironic that Freaky Fields, the obvious ripoff of Fatal Fields in Chapter 5 Season 4, was more faithful to Fatal Fields than Season OG's version is. But yeah, Fatal Fields has been reverted. But yeah, Anarchy Acres, Moisty Mire, those two locations still exist. Which means, yep, the prison next to Moisty Mire still exists. And that's fun, but the loot pool. Yes, it is unbalanced as hell. Ooh, a purple scar. Give me that. Is it unbalanced as hell? Yes. Absolutely. But that's only because Chapter 1, Season 1's loot pool itself wasn't all that balanced to begin with. Because, shocker, Chapter 1, Season 1 was the first full season of Fortnite. Epic was still figuring things out. So, of course, the game was going to be extremely buggy and extremely unbalanced. And, in my opinion at least, that's kind of what makes this... That's kind of what makes this mode fun. Like, if I wanted a balanced experience, I'd go play regular Battle Royale. I don't play OG for a balanced experience. And keep in mind, all of this is coming from somebody who started in Chapter 3. This is going to be a controversial take, but in my opinion, Chapter 3 is the very end of the OG era. Once we get into Chapter 4, Chapter 5, we are very much in what people have dubbed the new gen. I need mats, or I'm going to be stuck here, because I am not slowly and awkwardly trudging through Loot Lake. That is a death sentence. Oh, look, there's someone doing it right now. I got him. Yeah, but now, despite the fact that I consider Chapter 3 the end of the OG era, say I'm not going to trudge through Loot Lake, I end up doing that anyway. Even though I consider Chapter 3 the end of the OG era, I don't consider myself an OG. What am I doing? Just place stairs and then build a platform. There we go. Yeah, buddy, you keep missing me with your shots. I just want to get across Loot Lake. Alrighty. So anyway, yeah. I don't consider myself an OG player, despite the fact that I consider Chapter 3 the end of the OG era of Fortnite. And that's mainly because of the thing. You've been seeing me do all match, and it's the thing they added. One of the few modern quality of life changes that they've added to Fortnite OG, and that is tactical sprinting, sliding, and mantling. Did you think I wouldn't hip fire you with a freaking scar? I'm not above doing that. But yeah, sprinting, tactical sprinting, sliding, and mantling. I said this, or I don't think I've ever said this anywhere. But in Chapter 3, when they introduced tactical sprinting, sliding, and mantling, I thought it was a good change. I thought it was it was a valid change for sure. And when it was brought back, and here's where the hypocrisy starts coming in. When it was brought back in, or when it was kept in Season OG, yeah, there were still people who complained, but like, barely anybody did. And when it was brought back in Remixed alongside Chapter 5's hurdling mechanic, I'm gonna go get the supply drop. Alongside Chapter 5's hurdling mechanic, literally nobody cared. Where did the supply drop go? I just saw it. Like, literally nobody cared. Like, yeah, during Season OG, there were still people who complained about sprinting, sliding, and oh, it's in the tree. There were still people who complained about tactical sprinting, sliding, and mantling. Yeah, that 7th is fine. But yeah, nobody cared that sprinting, sliding, and mantling were in the game. And now suddenly it's a problem that these things are in the game. I honestly think sprinting, sliding, and mantling make OG more fun as a mode. But that's just me. That's just me. And yeah, I know we didn't get any wins in this video, but I did want to do some coverage of Fortnite Season OG, or Fortnite OG Chapter 1, Season 1, and give kind of my thoughts. I know they were all over the place, but hopefully you guys found something coherent about it. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, if you want to support me financially, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the description, alongside links to all of my other social medias. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!